Hello dear students, very good morning and welcome back to our video lecture, and this is our session number 4 of chapter number 6, that is unemployment, and I am Vaibhav Shah, and today we are going to discuss furthermore the types of unemployment. In last session we discussed about the open unemployment, in which those individuals who are ready to work at current wage rate and possess qualifications too, but do not get any job, are said to be fully unemployed or openly unemployed, and we discussed about this in the very starting of this chapter also, that is involuntary unemployment, or we can say open unemployment. So now let us discuss the second type, that is underemployment. First of all, let us read the whole points which are given over here. Underemployment, meaning when laborers cannot utilize their capabilities fully and for certain period accept less capable job, is said to be underemployed. When a laborer is willing and ready to work for certain years or days but gets job for less than those hours or days, then he is said to be underemployed. For example, a laborer working in industry or agricultural land gets work only for 5 hours instead of 8 hours. Then he is said to be underemployed. According to this meaning, in rural India, the seasonal unemployment in agricultural sector is a type of underemployment, because the laborer in agricultural sector gets work only during sowing and harvesting season, is unemployed rest of the time. Indian agriculture is based on monsoon, and due to limited irrigational facilities, agricultural sector faces seasonal nature of unemployment. Similarly, many individuals do not get jobs according to their degrees. They accept degraded job, that is also called underemployment. Example, a person with the degree of computer engineer works in a garage. So it is all about the type of unemployment, that is underemployment, and now let us discuss this point in a very detail. First of all, let us understand the meaning. In last session we are having the glimpse of this particular topic, but right now we are discussing this point in a very detail. So, when laborers cannot utilize their capabilities fully, it means they are ready to work for all the working hours that is provided by the employer, or we can say he is qualified enough to run the business successfully, or to manage the business, or to do a particular task in which he is capable of managing that particular point, or we can say particular task, as he is qualified enough. Then also it is the possibility that he is not getting the chance where he can utilize their capabilities fully, and for certain period accept less capable job, is said to be underemployed. Sometimes it may happens that this kind of situation happens in a country because of the lack of infrastructural facilities, or we can say due to the lack of vocational training and education during the schooling and college hours. But it is the chance that in a country like India, when we are having the highest number of population, and amongst them our labor force is also very high, where the active labor force is capable of doing a job, or they are seeking a particular job as per their knowledge area, or we can say educational qualifications. But due to some of the limitations, or like infrastructural limitations or capital intensive production techniques instead of labor intensive production techniques, or due to the craze of employment instead of business, these are some of the reasons. which can give the birth to underemployment, or where the laborers cannot utilize their capabilities fully and for certain period accept less capable job, said to be underemployed. So it may happen that when he or she completes their graduation or post graduation or master degree in any of the stream or from the any of the discipline, but due to the lack of more job opportunities, or we can say the due to the lack of enough or qualified job opportunities, they have to accept the less cadre job than their educational qualification, and that's why they are called as a underemployed. It means it is the chance that they cannot utilize their capabilities fully and not contributing in the development of a nation. Now let us move towards the second paragraph. When a laborer is willing and ready to work for certain years or days but gets job for less than those hours or days, then he is said to be underemployed. First of all, line this particular statement. Here it is given in a clear cut manner that when a laborer is willing and ready to work, it means his willingness and ability is there for certain years. It means if a person who is graduated, it is possible that in the country like India, we are having the graduation degree at nearest about 20 or 21st year, and when we complete our master, we are reaching to the age of 23 or 24. So after that, he is willing and ready to work for almost 30 to 35 years after this particular graduation or master's degree. So his willingness and ready to work for certain years, or we can say he is ready to work for more than stipulated time, that is, he is ready to work for even 10 hours a day, while the rule or we can say the labor law is in the favor of 8 hours a day, then also the person is willing and ready to work for certain years, that is, he is ready to work for 30 to 35 years in particular organization, or days, it means he is ready to work in the all weekdays or gets job for less than those hours, then also, or days, then he is said to be underemployed. But due to the limitations and due to the lack of job opportunities, he is not able to get the job as per his qualification or as per his wish, and he has to accept the job with either very less cadre or with a very less time period, then he is said to be underemployed. We have already discussed some of the points or elements or meaning in the Sri Raj Krishna Committee's report also. Let us take an example which is given over here in your textbook. For example, a laborer working in industry or agricultural land gets work only for 5 hours instead of 8 hours. Then he is said to be underemployed. As we have already discussed that according to labor law, the minimum working hours will be 8 hours a day, or we can say 8 hours within 24 hours, because some of the workers are working in a night shift, some of the workers are working in a day shift. So you will be able to get a minimum wage of 8 hours, or we can say a minimum work of 8 hours. But a laborer working in an industry, it means in any of the factory or organization or in agricultural land, gets work only for 5 hours instead of 8 hours. Here we are talking about the laborers and not the owners or the employer. So in agricultural land also it may happen that the farmer who is recruiting a tenant, or we can say who is hiring a tenant for some particular task, then also he is not able to provide him work for 8 hours a day, and the labor is end up to working 5 hours a day, then he is said to be underemployed. So anything which is less than 8 hours a day is underemployment, or we can say anything that is very less than work of less than 6 days or less than that is also called underemployment. Now let us move forward. Why the agricultural land and why the area related to this is covered here. So, according to this meaning of underemployment, in rural India, the seasonal unemployment in agricultural sector is a type of underemployment. First of all, line this statement. As we all knows that out of our total population, majority of population is even today residing in a rural area and their main occupation is the agricultural. So, according to this meaning, in rural India, the seasonal unemployment in agriculture sector is a type of underemployment, because as we all knows that, or we will be discussing in detail about this while we will learning the chapter number 8, that is agricultural sector, in this particular textbook, that is or subject economics. So in rural India, the person who are working in the farm are basically working for more than 4 months or 6 months or max to max 8 months, but not more than that. And due to these limitations, they are called underemployment, because as per our meaning, full employment is a situation where the people or the person is getting work minimum 8 hours a day, or on a monthly basis he will be able to getting a work of at least 25 days, or on a yearly basis he will be able to get a work of minimum 300 days or more than that, but not less than that. But due to the limitations in India, the agricultural sector is suffering from the underemployment. Now here let us discuss the reason behind this. Because the laborer in agricultural sectors gets work only during sowing and harvesting season and is unemployed rest of the time. As we all know that in the farming or in the process of farming, the need for laborers are only for 2 times. First time when they are sowing, or we can say when they are planting the seeds into the earth. And secondly, in the harvesting season, it means when the crop is ready and they have to cut it and make it ready for the market. During these 2 times only the laborers are getting a work. So, in agricultural sector, the underemployment is prevailing because the laborers in agriculture sector gets work only during sowing and harvesting season, is unemployed rest of the time. It means other than these 2 seasons, they are not able to get any kind of work, and during that period they are in a constant search for a job or some kind of a permanent source of income. But due to the limitation of job opportunities, they are not able to get a work, and that's why they end up with the seasonal business, and that's why the Indian agricultural is a seasonal only. Indian agricultural, second thing why they are not getting a particular, or we can say permanent working in agricultural sector, then second reason is that Indian agriculture is based on monsoon, and due to limitation irrigational facilities, agricultural sector faces seasonal nature of unemployment. First reason is that the laborers in agriculture gets work only 2 seasons, that is sowing and harvesting. And second reason is that Indian agricultural is based on monsoon. As we all know that our agriculture is totally based on fatalism. If our fatal is good, then we will get a good crop. But if the monsoon is not up to the marks, then we are not able to get even a single crop during the full year. So, Indian agriculture is based on monsoon and due to limited irrigational facilities, because main and foremost element for any of the farming is water. Without water, no one can do a farming except in dry farming, but they are not applied to majority of the portion of Indian territories. So, due to based on monsoon, they are totally dependent on monsoon. If monsoon is good, then they will be able to get proper cropping, and if monsoon is not up to the mark, then they will end up with no crops, or we can say there is no production from the agricultural farming. And second one is due to limited irrigational facilities. Out of total Gujarat, the Saurashtra region is a region which is suffering from the lack of irrigational facilities, and we don't have enough, or we can say the proper water storage facilities and capacities, and that's why our farmers are not able to get a crop for all the 3 seasons. Maximum they are getting a cropping in 2 seasons only, that is in monsoon and in winter, while in summer they don't have enough water facility or irrigational facilities or irrigation, and they are not getting any kind of cropping during the summer season. So as we are based on monsoon and due to limited irrigational facilities, if proper monsoon is there and along with that if proper irrigation facility is also there, then we are able to get harvesting for more than 2 times. But as there is a lack of infrastructural facilities and we are not able to provide the water facility and irrigation to the whole harvested land, then it is the limitation, and that's why agricultural sector faces seasonal nature of unemployment. Now let us discuss the last paragraph of this particular topic. Similarly, many individuals do not get jobs according to their degrees, and they accept degraded job, that is also called underemployment. This is the serious problem of Indian economy, because here we are having so many educational courses. Like first of all, we are having basically 3 streams, that is science, commerce and arts, and in that there are many sub-disciplines are there. Like if we are talking about the commerce, then we will be having BBA, BCom, BCA, then B.Ed and everything, and their master degrees, and in master degrees also we are having different streams, and by this way we are getting the specialized and expertise people from the different streams. But one of the limitation of Indian economy is that here we are having availability of so many courses, but the job, or we can say the working area related to that particular stream is very limited. It means they are not able to grab all those who graduated or masters from these different streams, because they are having very limited number of seats availability in job when they are coming out from their educational qualifications. So in that case, many of the masters, or we can say the experts, have to accept the less cadre job which is not of their own particular area of interest, and then also they have to do that particular job for the betterment of their family. And first main thing is that they don't want to be underemployed for some period of or longer period of time. Like here I want to discuss one element with you students, that in the year 2017 or 18 there was a vacancy in, we can say, the Talati Mantri in Gujarat region. There is total need of this particular, or we can say that total vacancy of that particular seats of Talati Mantri is only 3,600. And it is surprising that out from total Gujarat region there were 5,10,000 job applications were there. It means there are 5,10,000 people who are interested in getting this job as a Talati Mantri. But the main surprise is that this job is only for those who have passed their 10th or 12th. It means it is the job related to your 12th standard only. It means you have completed your schooling. But all those who had applied for these jobs are highly graduated, or we can say they are from the highest degrees. Like out of them, some of them are engineers, some of them are MBAs, MCAs, and from different streams people have applied for this particular job. And when they are getting a job which is based on 10th and 12th standard, and as their educational qualification is very high, then they are called underemployed instead of employment. So this is one of the main problem, we can say, which we are facing while we are living in India. Here there is a possibility of jobs are so many, but the job as per your educational qualification or as per your experience or as per your expertise is very less, and it may happens that uh, by that way many of the people have to accept a low cadre job which is not suitable to their educational qualification, and they results into underemployment. The example which I have discussed is a very small, or we can say it is the one of the examples of many, because here every day we are seeing that people are struggling for getting a job because of the very high availability of labor force. So while many individuals do not get jobs according to their degrees, today we are seeing that there is a hyperinflation in engineering sector, that many of the engineers are not able to getting a job. Same way in commercial sector also there are so many MBS and MCA people who are not able to getting their job, either because of the lack of knowledge, or we can say because of lack of job opportunities. So instead of sitting idle, or we can say instead of sitting as unemployed, they are ready to accept any of the job, and in that stream they will accept the degraded job also. It uh, means they are foregoing their degree or status or everything, and they are accepting the job which is of the very less quality, or we can say the less qualification. That is also called underemployment. It means at one instance they are employed, but on another hand they are underemployed because they have accepted the job which is not as per their educational qualification. Here there is one example is given, that is example, a person with the degree of computer engineer works in a garage. So all those who are working in a garage, there is no requirement of any kind of educational qualification or expertise in working in a garage. But as the person is having computer engineering degree, he should work in some of the firm or at the particular place where their degree is suitable. But due to this lack of job opportunities, he has to accept the low cadre job, and it is also called as a underemployment. Now let us move forward. Next one is a disguised unemployment. Is a very big topic. I think it will take 30 minutes full lecture to discuss this particular topic. So here right now we are skipping this. Next one is a cyclical unemployment, is also a very big topic we cannot discuss in a limited time period. So right now let us discuss the fifth one, that is frictional unemployment. Point number third, that is disguised unemployment, and fourth one, that is cyclical unemployment, we'll discuss in next lecture. But today let us discuss the main glimpse of the frictional unemployment, because due to the limitation of time we are not able to complete this particular topic also. So let's start with point number fifth, that is frictional unemployment. First of all, let us read this meaning. When in production process, because of changes in demand or production, or due to change in taste and preferences or new technology, new goods enter in the market and unemployment arises, then this unemployment is called frictional unemployment. Remember all this point, because here it is given in a detail that when in production process, because of changes in demand, it means when the demand for a particular good is changed, or production, it means change in production, or due to change in taste and preferences, or new technology, or new goods enter in the market. So here total we are having 5 or 6 instances which is results into the frictional unemployment. But really how it happens, let us discuss. But first of all, let us read this particular point. In a developed nations, When old production system is replaced by a new production system, then the units with old production system face economic loss and shut down. As a result, the laborers working in those units remain unemployed till they don't learn the work according to the new technology. This unemployment is for a short term. So, here they have given a glimpse that how this kind of unemployment is rises in a country, or what are the reasons behind this particular unemployment. In last lecture, it is given a small example that when smartphone replaced old mobile phones, then the laborers engaged in production, sales and service of old mobile phones become unemployed, and this is called frictional unemployment. So let us now start with the meaning of frictional unemployment. When in production process, because of changes in demand. First of all, this is the main reason in any of the business we are having two kind of risk. First one is a natural risk, that is natural calamities and disasters, and second one is a man-made risk. Out of them, the man-made risk is the change in demand. So, when in production process, because of change in demand or production, it means when once the demand is changed from particular product to any of the another product, we are seeing that in the apparel market, it is a very highly fashionable thing that the designs of that particular apparel, or we can say the dress, is changed within a very short period of time. So it may happens that when once the production process is carried out for a particular number of units of a production, then when the demand is changed, that the whole process of that particular good is become unusable and we have to change. So first of all, the main reason for frictional unemployment is that due to change in demand or production, it means there is a change in the production techniques because some of the ingredients are prohibited by the government. Sometimes it may happen that we have to change the product altogether, or we have to reduce the production, or we have to increase the production as per the demand. Sometimes there is change in the demand, or we can say change in a product. New product comes into the market and we have to compulsorily plan our production process according to that new need. Then third reason is due to change in taste and preferences. Here it is also associated with the demand itself. As there is change in taste preference of the consumer, then the product which is now not in a demand or not in a fashion is become unusable, or as there is demand is very low, or we can say very negligible, then we have to compulsorily abandon the production of that particular good and move forward the new goods which is highly in a demand or according to the taste and preferences of the particular citizens. Or new technology. This one is the fourth reason, that due to change in technology, the old technological products become unusable, or we can say the obsolete technology is now there is no place of that particular technology in our production process, and we have to change the new technology. Likewise, in the initial times we are having a manual production system, like as we all have seen about the Gandhiji, then their cloth making process, then afterwards that power looms are there. So first of all it is hand loom, then power looms, then electric looms, that is the semi-automatic process, and now we are having a totally automatic process. In all this process, step by step, the need of laborers are decreasing. In manual work there is 100% need, in power loom it's 75%, in semi-automatic it is 50% workforce is needed, while in totally automatic now we require only 10% workforce. So due to change in technology, it may happens that the people becomes unemployed because they are not able to cope up with the new situation and they are not able to work with that particular new technology. Next one is a new goods enter in the market and unemployment arises. Sometimes it may happen that in place of some of the household work, now we are having automatic machineries are there, which are very useful and helpful in reducing our work stress. So these are the some new goods, that is totally invention in the market, which are enter into the market, then unemployment arises. So then this type of unemployment is called frictional unemployment. As the name suggests, frictional unemployment is unemployment which is for a very short period of a time. It means when the technology change, the person who are unable to cope up with this new thing are unable to get a work. But when they learn about it, then they will become efficient and they will again get employment in that particular area. So here in frictional unemployment, the reasons for frictional unemployment we discussed so far is that when in production process, because of change in demand, that is demand for your product becomes obsolete, or we can say outdated, or change in production. This is the second reason. Third one is or due to change in taste and preferences, that is due to change in the fashion of, or we can say the taste and preferences of the consumer, or new technology in place of old technology, and new goods enter in the market. These are the 5 main reasons which are applicable for, or which are the reasons for unemployment, and this type of unemployment is called frictional unemployment. So let us conclude our session over here. Today we discussed about the 2 main points. The first one is the type of unemployment, that is underemployment, and second one is frictional unemployment. We will discuss about frictional unemployment in a very detail in our next session. Thank you very much, class.